Sanctified and serving. If you are a child of the Most High God and the Spirit of the Lord lives in you, you can serve the people of God with absolutely pure, unadulterated love, eternal love. And the only way that you can serve His people is by Him living in you. If we try to do it in our flesh, we wind up hurting people. We wind up trying to do it our way. And God is saying, surrender unto Him so that He can move in the lives of other people. And what He does is, He uses us to do it. He uses us to love people. So in Romans chapter 8, it talks about the flesh and the spirit. In order to do the things that God has purposed us to do, we have to surrender to the Spirit of God. Galatians chapter 5 talks about the fruits of the Spirit. We need God to serve. So it's very important that you read the Word of God. We have to read the Word of God, and not only read it, but do what it says. Because if people are looking at you, let's just take this for an example. Let's take this for an example. People are starting to talk about you because you have this disposition that is fleshly, but you are spirit-filled. But because of frustration, people are looking at you and talking about you because they don't see God anymore. What they see is flesh. They see anger, you're short-tempered, you're impatient, and those are opposite of who our Father is. And if the Spirit of God lives in you, what you're going to see is God's love served. Because we're talking about sanctified and serving. We can serve the good fruit if we allow God to work through us. But if we continue to bow down to our flesh, surrender to our flesh, and allow the flesh to rule, then no one can see God. What are we supposed to be serving? Love. It's not fake. If you're smiling and love comes out, but if you're smiling in people's face, you know that I did a video about they smile in your face all the while they trying to take your place. Those backstabbers. Those are people like, yeah, you girl, it's so good to see you, and then all the while they full of hell. I can't stand him. Oh, she just makes me sick. You know, that type of thing. But when you're in the presence of the Lord, you've been praying, you spend time with Him, and you come out and you're generally smiling because nobody wants to see your pit bull face. So you're smiling and you're drawing all men unto the Lord by the Spirit of the living God. So when you open up your mouth, because people want to be around you, they want to be around you because they sense that it's safe to approach you. And so when you open up your mouth, the Spirit of the Lord begins to love. The joy of the Lord will come forth. There's peace that's upon you. Love, joy, peace, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, kindness, patience, self-control. Those are the characteristics of God, and that's what we're supposed to be serving. Living sanctified, separating ourselves from the flesh and allowing God to rule over our lives. So if you read Romans chapter 8, it's going to bless your soul. I promise you it will. And I just want to read a little bit with you, and then I'm going to get off of here. It says, those who live, I'm reading Romans 8:5. Those who live according to the flesh have their mind set on what the flesh desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their mind set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. Who's ruling you? Who are you submitting to? Is it your flesh or is it the Spirit? It's no longer about us when we surrender our lives into the Lord. It becomes all about Him. People are supposed to see Him living in us. When we open up our mouths, they should see God. We should be serving the fruits of the Spirit. So read the Word of God. Pray. Spend some time with the Father so that we can change in His presence. God bless you. God keep you. God prosper you. Read your Word and do what it says.